Welcome to week number 8 of Turn Up Bear Down. I'm here with the championship coach from the North, the heart and soul of this show, Matt Jansen. What's going on?
Hey guys, hey viewers, what's going on, man? Excited to be back. We from our 1 week hiatus. We were both out in the boonies, out in the middle of nowhere. So we're
Yeah,
back.
I don't know how our viewers made it through the last 2 weeks with our subpar
Yeah,
performances and shows, but we're back. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about last week. You and I already briefly chatted about it, but hey, I've been kind of showing the Chiefs results all week, or each week, as well as the Bears. But Chiefs beat the Raiders. The Bears beat the Raiders. The Chiefs beat the Chargers, and that was a pretty good game for the first half. And then the Chiefs kind of did what they do, pulled away. But after that loss for the Chargers, that kind of makes this a must win in some ways for them against the Bears, which is funny to say because we're not a very good team. But if they lose this game, like honestly, right now, the Raiders just lost to us. If anybody loses the Bears at this point, it's kind of like, how could you lose to the Bears? That's saying something. And then Tyson Bagent in his first ever NFL start gets a win. He's 1-0 as a starter in the NFL. He's going to get the start again this week on prime time. And so it'll be fun to see. I'm sure they're going to have all kinds of good graphics on NBC about the rookie undrafted free agent making his debut from D2. All-time record leader in touchdowns, though, at 159 for any division of NCAA football. Thoughts on the Chiefs? Thoughts on the Bears?
yeah. No, I mean, just also to point out, his dad is like a world class arm wrestler, but he still can't beat my dad. Um, I will say, you saw the Chiefs look good. I think they finally, because I mean they always play the Chargers close. The Chargers always play them close. They always play very very well against the Chiefs. Kind of saw the Chiefs, kind of put the throttle down towards the end of that. You saw the Eagles prove a point against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football last week.
That was impressive. Yep.
And also, yeah, no, it was a good game. I mean, it was a good game, but I mean, I think a lot of people coming in are thinking, man, how do you stop Miami's offense? Eagles defense has been a little bit suspect too. But again, they showed you they're a force to be reckoned with. How do the Minnesota Vikings beat the San Francisco 49ers?
I don't know. I didn't even
How?
watch that.
How? That just, I know they're banged up, but that one was kind of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
And then finally, we got.
Yeah. I don't know how they.
So I just gave him the look that every parent gives in public. That if you don't act the right way, then something may happen. Lastly, you saw the Detroit Lions
Yeah.
get absolutely destroyed in Baltimore, and I think that was about as surprising as really any game this weekend, other than maybe the 49ers. But
Yeah, people are talking up Lamar right now as he should be talked about because he's having a very quiet, successful,
yeah,
good season, and I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. People are critical of Lamar, but he's solid right now. So we'll see how that continues to go as the season continues.
His MVP odds are skyrocketing. So if you're trying to get on that train and get ahead of it, you probably should start hitting it now before it gets any. The odds
Yeah.
get less. The odds get thinner, and you're not able to cash as much. So
Hey, does Tyson Bagent in this picture look kind of like Josh Allen? What do you think?
he does. Josh Allen's got like 60 pounds around his waist. That boy's got a straight spare
Yeah,
tire around his waist,
that's
but he can
true.
slang it. So
Yeah.
it looks like premarital Josh Allen. Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's get into this week. So, hey, it'll be fun to play the Chargers. This is a team we haven't played in quite some time because I guess we play them every 4 years, just like usually the Chiefs. But man, I don't even. Oh, the last time we played the Chargers, the Philip Rivers was their quarterback. Still, do you remember? Mitchell Trubisky drove us down the field, and we had a field goal to win the game. And of course, it was a missed field goal. Um, and so, anyway, I specifically remember that game because I was getting a haircut, and my wife was cutting my hair, and she cut kind of a chunk in my head on accident because she forgot to put the guard on right. And right about the time she did that, the Bears missed a field goal and lost the game. Then I went to the Chiefs game that night too. So, anyway, fun fact about the last time the Bears played against the Chargers.
You said that was what year?
It would have been 2019. Yeah, because that was the year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So, impact players. I'm putting Tyson Bagent on here. Um, he's either winning an arm wrestling match against Justin Herbert or he's winning the game. Probably not the game. Darnell Wright, he's gonna be back. He was cleared to play today. There is at least it's trending that way. I'm looking for him to have a good game. DJ Moore, can he have another breakout primetime game like he did the last time against the Commanders? He'll be interesting to watch. And then Justin Herbert, I've always liked him as a quarterback. I feel like he should be consistently on a team that is playing deep into the playoffs, but the Chargers have been the Chargers. Fun fact
Kind of
about
like
this
Philip
game.
Rivers, isn't it? It's like repeated
Yeah,
itself. Like Rivers was
exactly.
like a second tier, but
Yeah.
never got the respect, never won an MVP. It kind of
Yeah.
feels like that.
Yeah, and then we got Khalil Mack. So you could say in some ways this is the Khalil Mack revenge game. The first time he's playing against the Bears since he was traded from the Bears. And then Austin Eckler, he's always tough. He's on my fantasy team. Who do you like of these impact players? Who did we leave out that you want to talk about?
Yeah, you covered all the star power for the most part. Really, the only way you stop Austin Eckler is if he gets hurt, uh, and we've seen that happen several times throughout the course of the year and his career. Khalil Mack, he is not the Khalil Mack that we remember as far as being as dominant. But as you saw, I think it was in the what did you say the Raiders game where he had like 6 sacks or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, he did.
Still, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he did. And before, like the last couple weeks, the Bears defense has been a little bit better. But before last week, I think he had more sacks in that game than the Bears had all season as a team.
Right. Yeah, he had 6 or whatever. I remember watching that, and he's not quite what he is now, but he still can impact the game, and I'm sure he will at some point. Darnell Wright the Bears offensive line graded out really really well on Pro Football Focus PFF this past week. So I think some of that's going to go. I mean, here's what I'll say: Max Crosby was not a game wrecker on
Wow,
Sunday, and I was
surprising.
not expecting to say that. I was not expecting any of that to happen. I thought he would have a heyday,
I think he still had
honestly.
one sack, right?
Did he? Okay, yeah, he might have had a sack, but
But nothing
not
major.
nearly. Nothing as impactful as he honestly normally is every week. So we did a good job with him. Someone I'd like to see on here, and I think who was non-existent last week was Cole Kmet again.
Yeah,
Normally young quarterbacks, those tight ends, especially one to the level of Cole Kmet, are security blankets, and Cole, or excuse me, Tyson wanting to get the ball out quick, and to his playmakers, it just kind of blew my mind that Cole Kmet was not anywhere in the game plan or a factor or really really at all in the game. I don't know how many targets he had, but he didn't have a single catch or a yard this past weekend. So I think we're going to have to run the ball. I think what you've seen is how we have to win right now with our team, and I think when you get Justin Fields back, your style can change a little bit because Justin can do more. He's the offense versus now it's complementary football, like we've talked about with all the 94 quarterbacks that have been there in our lifetime. That you have to win with complementary football when you have people that just are either new to it, a little bit raw, or just not elite. And I have to say that about Tyson as of right now, the B agent. So yes, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet definitely gonna have to get a little bit more involved. I did like that Darnell Mooney was a lot more active in the game as well. Um, let's not pretend that Devontae Foreman is going to roll out 3 touchdowns again and every week. That's not a realistic expectation. So But we know he runs hard. Our line kind of had a nasty physicality to them at Chip, and I think that was great to see. And I think they did rally behind Tyson a little bit and his energy, and I think it was infectious.
Yeah,
And as much as I want to say Oakland didn't show up, I want to say we did, and that energy I think carried over to the game.
yeah.
So
I
I
am.
like what you got. You got to stop Keenan Allen. He's on there. Keenan Allen is at 48 years old, so to speak. That man is still elite.
He is
His
really
hairline is
good.
about 60.
Yeah, I feel
That
like.
hairline's creeping up, but
Yeah, I feel
it's
like about 10 years ago, I was drafting Keenan Allen to be like, this might be his last year being good, and he's still scoring
yeah,
points in fantasy. No, one other thing about the
been
Chargers,
a rebirth. Yeah, it's been a rebirth.
yeah, we can get into some of the specific paths to victory, but the Chargers rank 11th in total rush defense, and so it's really interesting. But a big thing of Fields not being in the game is we're running the ball more, and it's almost like why weren't we running the ball more and more effectively with him as the quarterback? Because then it opens up everything else. So obviously, Getsy's taken a lot of heat this year, rightfully so, because the offense has struggled so much. But why are we not running it more? I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I also like that Bajent's been finding Terrell Scott. Or is it Tyler Scott? Whoops. I think it's Tyler Scott.
It's Tyler
Uh,
Scott. Yeah,
the
Tyler
rookie,
Scott.
number
Yeah, he's a big
13.
factor. He was
Yeah,
way. That was his best game by far as a
yeah,
pro. I mean, he was super active in the game plan and just game script and in the game itself. Yeah, it was
yeah.
surprising. Nice to
It's
see though.
it's like these guys that we didn't even know exist on our team are all of a sudden catching the ball because they have some experience with Bagent from practice, from preseason games. But anyway, for the Bears to sustain victory or to get a win here, they're gonna have to sustain some drives. And we talked about it before the show. But you said there was a lot of like 12 plays, 70-yard drives that occurred last week, at least 3 times, leading to touchdowns. That's going to have to happen again. A lot of runs, a lot of quick passes, mix it in. I would like to see some deep throws to Mooney or Moore or whoever can get open in this game. I think that would really stretch the defense, maybe second or third quarter, but I think there's a chance for those. I'd like to see if Bajent's capable of making those throws. Maybe you can't, and that's why we haven't seen it yet. And then this might look confusing if you're viewing this, but win the turnover battle, not win the battle, because the Bears play a lot better when they get these turnovers, like they did in both the Raider game and the Commander game. But I did see that the Chargers have the one of the best turnover margins in the NFL. So that's not a good sign. And then for the Chargers, use Eckler, have a strong running game, win the field position battle, make the Bears go the whole field, and really for them, just no major letdowns, whether that's a turnover or missed assignments. Because if they just play their game and play consistently, it'll be really tough for the Bears to come out on top here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. What was really weird, what struck me as odd, because he's an NFL quarterback, was at the end of the first half against the Raiders. Who did the Bears put in to throw? Well, I don't know if you've seen or not because you said you were on the road and you weren't able to necessarily watch the game. You were following the game. They put Nathan Peterman in to make a halftime, like a play before halftime Hail Mary,
I was wondering
and
if
that
that was
struck.
because of an injury though to Bajent. Did he hurt his arm on like one of the previous plays?
I don't think so. I'd have to go
Hmm.
back and look, but to me, it seemed like more like Peters, like Nathan Peterman had the arm to get to the end zone and Bajan didn't. That's what it felt like to me. So to me, that worries me, and obviously that probably raised some flags with some defenses saying, "Hey, I don't need to play cover 4, cover
Yeah,
3, drop back. I can probably test him and just keep everything, like stay up close, make the windows tight. He's not going to beat me over the top because otherwise, why? If it wasn't for an injury, that would have me kind of just saying he's got to prove me wrong and he's got to throw the bomb and he's got to really air it out for me to respect it.
yeah,
So that was a little bit. I'm kind of waiting to see on that, and yeah, we all want to see him stretch the field. I would say that Fields and the offense has done a better job this year in years past in the last, let's say, 3-4 years in just general as a Bears offense, we've done a better job with big chunk plays this year. Um, yeah, the turnover battle is huge every week. You're finally starting to. I think Jalen Johnson is making a case. Man, I would really like to see him be a Bear for a long time, but he's probably. We don't just shadow receivers. So Jalen's going to stay on the side. Hopefully, him and Keenan have some battles this Sunday night. Man, I'd love to see some strip sacks though. Herbert's a finger down, right? I mean, he's
So is
what is it?
Fields at
No,
this
I
point.
know. Shoot. Oh, who's a lineman? Who's a lineman that I don't even want to say this while we're on air. Um, who's a lineman that blew his finger off?
Oh, Jason
JPP.
Pierre.
He's the JPP of the quarterback world right
Oh
now. He's
my
down a finger,
gosh.
and so you know, I will say that Herbert at times can kind of air the ball out. Sometimes he can lean. Sometimes he'll get some picks just from throwing the ball up, letting his receivers go work. But quarterbacks like Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes and some of the great ones that we have, Josh Allen, they don't have two bad games in a row. And even though I wouldn't say he had a bad game against the Chiefs, as far as Herbert, I would say that the likelihood of him coming out and throwing multiple picks seems unlikely unless we're able to get to him all night. Make him see ghosts in the pocket all night. So I think that has to do with the turnover battle. Whereas I think this past weekend, I think the Raiders were the Raiders, and you're talking about Brian Hoyer being unlike Brian Hoyer, and then Aiden O'Connell's a rookie. So um, again, Eckler, you got to stop him. You're going to have to stop him in the passing game too. Most running backs, you just shut them down in the running game, and then you got your scat back, you got your third down back that comes in. You just keep them in front of you as a check down. But Eckler can do so much, man. He reminds me a lot of Matt Forte. Same with Kamara. I think Kamara's is Matt Forte, Matt Forte reincarnated. So he just fits into that dual threat. Can't take a play off on him. He could burn you. He could literally take a screen 70 yards. We've seen that in his career. So keeping an eye on him on all three downs, making guys like Josh Palmer and Gerald Everett beat you as opposed to Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler, I think have something to do with that. And we're going to have to run the ball again. We will absolutely have to run the ball. If we have Roshan, that's good because he's kind of a dog, man. I like the way he runs. He runs kind of like AJ Dillon. Just he's not as big. He's not built like AJ Dillon, but he runs downhill for
Yeah.
a what we would say a smaller back, right? He's not a huge back.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's kind
I
of
think
wild he's
continuing
been
with
out
that,
for so long.
yeah, we're gonna wait and see. That the concussion must have been a pretty good one, or he obviously couldn't pass his impact or whatever, or maybe he just wanted a few weeks off from Luke Getzey. But no, I would say all joking aside, just keeping that nastiness and that kind of that edgy approach, I think is only gonna help our identity as a football program, and then help translate the young guys as they progress throughout the year and into their career. So those are
Yeah.
some things. Yeah, agree with a lot of what you're saying, but it's gonna be a tough battle, man. I mean, we are going to have to win the turnover battle. Will absolutely be the biggest thing that will help us this week.
All right. And so, yeah, we talked about the path to victory. Let's go ahead and get into some specific predictions, some of our favorite segments here. Here's what I got. You tell me the over or under. Is Beijing going to have over or under 1.5 touchdowns in this game?
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over. I think he's got a rush and a throwing one. I think San Diego's defense is middle of the pack,
Yeah.
not great,
All right.
just okay.
Sounds,
Just an okay for me, dog.
yeah, sounds about right. What about Justin Herbert? 2.5 touchdowns, over or under?
Mm. Yeah, no, our defense is like a wet paper towel. So yeah, I'm gonna go over there too. I think, and we're gonna keep going because I think the over under hits. I think the Chargers score 30 points by themselves. So
Yeah,
that
probably.
seems low to me. I bet you that number grows before Sunday night. If I were,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's going to grow. I think it's
Yeah,
going to rise.
Did you know that one thing on Herbert? Justin Fields has 11 touchdown passes. Herbert only has 10 on the year. And
I
Fields
know.
didn't play a game and a half, even though the Chargers have only played 6. We played 7. So, and then Eckler, 100 yards. He's going to get over or under 100.
Mm. He's been bad. I mean, fantasy wise, he's not been great lately. I'll
No.
go under on that. I'll
Yeah.
go under smidge.
Bears defense has been surprisingly good against the run in the last few weeks too. I was reading up. All right, and then the current spread here: Chargers are 8.5-point favorites. Do they cover? What do you think?
Ooh. Um. Ah. I think the Bears. I think the Bears cover in the first half, but I think eventually the Chargers get past that. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, probably like a 10-point win at least. I would think. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Okay, you got a stumper for today?
I do. So Scott, according to the football database, which is pretty much you and I, anyways, but
Yeah.
that's an actual website. I'm going to give them props so we don't get sued. There has been 74 players active. Well, there's not active total. 74 players in the history of the Bears Chargers. There's only been a few that are still active. There's only now about 7 or 8 that are active. Okay. Can you name for me five players that have played for both the Bears and the Chargers in their existence?
Of all, just active, right?
All time Bears and Chargers that have played for both franchises.
So it doesn't have to be active.
Does not have to be active.
All right. Well,
We
obviously,
already know you. We know you got one.
Khalil Mack is 1. Chase Daniel is 2.
Correct.
All right, then I'm gonna need a second here.
This is where it's going to get hard.
It's gonna get really difficult. I might even have to get some hints on this one. Shoot. I need to think. Um, man, I think I have one. I think Manti Te'o was one of them.
And his imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah.
Correct. That's 3.
Man, that was crazy. I got that one. Let's see here. I got one quarterback and their history all time though. That's kind of wild. Um,
There are some notable quarterbacks that have played for both, not
oh,
necessarily in the league, but
I got one of them, Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie.
I'm pretty
There you
sure he
go.
played for both of them. That was helpful. Okay, that leaves me with one more to get this right. Shoot, I can think of being like, oh man, I remember that guy was good. I guess right now I'm thinking of guys that went to the Chargers from the Bears. I can't think of many that came from the Chargers to the Bears, but I guess I got Chase Daniel. He was one of them.
Right.
I'm thinking of some wide receivers. Maybe.
It's tough. We have such a deep history of wide receivers in our franchise that we're just so good.
Oh, was Curtis Conway one of them?
Curtis Conway was another one. Yep.
Yes. Let's go. Oh, Bobby Wade was one, I think, too. Maybe not.
I don't see him on this list.
Yeah.
Here's some people.
Yeah, give me some others. I got the stumper though. I got 5, so I'm good. Who else we got?
Michael Badgley, kicker. Michael Badgley.
Oh, he played for us for a day. Actually, yeah, he came in and made a ton of field goals, and then I think we got rid of him the next week or something.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. We have Bryce Callahan from that vaunted 2018 defense. You had Curtis Conway. You mentioned Chase Daniels. You have Doug Flutie. You also have Jim Harbaugh.
I should have got that from NFL Blitz 2000.
Here's another one. Tommy Harris.
Really?
He played. Yep, he played. He went straight to San Diego after us. Played for San Diego
Did not
in
realize
2011.
that. For 1 year, maybe?
Justin Jones, who we currently
Okay.
yeah, who we currently have.
Yeah, he's made some plays.
Yep, yep. Um, Jim McMahon.
Really? Did he actually play, or is he? I guess you don't know. I feel like he's probably
Well,
a backup.
this is from he played it in 1989. He played for them.
Hmm.
Here's a name: Moses Moreno.
Moses Moreno. Hmm.
No, another notable, actually solid, who I liked as a Bear, Matt Slauson, offensive guard from
Yeah, I
Nebraska.
remember him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mitch Unrein,
He had a couple
and
good
really,
games. I remember that.
yeah, yeah. But really, yeah, that's it.
Man, I got the notable
Oh,
ones.
hey, one more, and I saw this guy in person. I was about less than 50 feet from him when old Granny had her season tickets with the Bears way back in the day. Eric Kramer.
I was gonna say Kramer, but I couldn't remember that.
Yeah.
Did he? Did he play for the? Oh, he played for them after the Bears, right?
Yeah, so Eric Kramer played. It was literally the next year. '98 was his last year with the Chicago, and then he went over to San Diego that next year in '99.
This is wild, but I think I remember that because of also NFL Blitz or Madden like '98. It's funny to think about like those video games, but
Great games. I mean, that was before a lot of our viewers were even
yeah,
born.
they're like,
That's
"What is a
crazy to think
Nintendo
about.
64? Only the best gaming console ever."
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's called retro
Well,
gaming now.
it is.
All right, I'm going Chargers 28, Bears 17. I hope it's fun. I hope it's close. This could honestly, the Chargers are a weird team. Like they're capable of being the best team in the AFC. I feel like sometimes, obviously, they couldn't get it done against the Chiefs last week, so they're not. But other times they look terrible, and so I feel like if things go well for the Bears, this could be a good game. I feel like it's in LA. Bears coming off a win. Usually a letdown follows. Chargers off of a big loss. They got to get this one right. They got to be focused. They got to be ready to roll. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going 31-14 Chargers. I think last week's performance, even though encouraging, I think it's a little bit of fool's gold, and I think it's a big stage, and I don't know. I definitely know we're not ready for it, and part of me doesn't want to win this game. We talked about this
Yep.
off camera, but part of me wants us to just be the Bears right now, and
Yeah.
this feels like a game that is probably going to be best offense wins. Whoever shows up offensively the most, I just have a feeling is going to be able to score enough points. I think both defenses are okay at times, but nothing to hang your hat on. So yeah, 31-14 is my prediction.
Solid. You know what terrifies me is if Tyson Bagent gets hurt, then Nathan Peterman will be playing quarterback for the Bears. Like, I guess he's third stringer, but why is he on a team in the NFL? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
anyway,
there's all the quarterbacks out in the world, and that's our
yeah,
third string. So
yep,
good part if he comes back, then you take his interception prop every single game that he is there, and that is guaranteed cash in your hand.
yeah. Well, I guess PJ Walker was the backup, and Bagent was not even on the team, and Peterman was the
Yep.
third stringer, but still, they should
Yep.
have cut Peterman. They didn't want to pay PJ Walker, who beat the San Francisco 49ers, even though he was terrible in the game. All right.
Yep.
Well, that will do it for us here at Turn Up Bear Down. It'll still be fun to watch the Bears. I'm sorry for the rest of the United States has to watch a primetime game featuring a 2-5 and a 2-4 team. But you know what? I feel like all primetime football is fun to watch because even if it's two teams, like they get a big victory and maybe it'll turn the season around a little bit. That's probably what's going to happen for the Chargers. But because again,
Scotty, real quick before we go, let's do a little off script here. Over
yeah,
under that Sunday Night Football is either going to talk about Bagent's dad or Justin Fields. The line is at 4. 4 times will they talk about either Justin Fields' dad or Justin Fields or Tyler Bagent's papa, who's got pretty big biceps. So I hear.
4 times though is the thing.
Hmm.
They're definitely going to start off like feel like when they have the opening, Tarico is going to say like, and Justin Fields is out, and then Tyson Bagent will be starting. So that's a mention for each right there. Or you said his dad?
His dad. Yep. Just talking of they will mention how his dad's,
I feel like his
dumb.
I feel like his dad's gonna be well, if he plays well and has some touchdowns, they'll show his dad in the audience multiple times. There is gonna be a graphic for the arm wrestling thing. You know, like they do the animated graphics. One will be like him doing an arm wrestling thing against all the Division II schools that he played or something, and all the touchdowns he had.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna show like some graphics on Justin Fields, and here he is, and they're
So
I feel like they'll talk about Fields for sure at least 4 times because they're gonna show him. They're gonna talk about him in the pregame. They're gonna talk about him when the Bears are down and Bagent can't throw a deep ball, and they're gonna talk about what's next for Fields because the Bears are gonna hold 2 top 5 picks and what are they gonna do? Which man, it's tough because I was feeling good about Fields for a while because we actually won a couple games. Well, he played well in a couple games. We should have won 2 games, and then I don't know. I just if we trade him, could we get something back already, knowing we're gonna have 2 top picks to get another guy?
I mean, yeah, that's
I don't
certainly a
know.
discussion we need to have. But
I don't want to waste any more picks on a quarterback though.
correct. So my thing is, what has he shown you that has not made you feel like he's the guy? Other than a bad game or two here and there, what has
I
he shown
just
you?
feel like I don't know. I'm actually more. Oh wow, got an Amber Alert during our show. I'm more pro Fields than I think a lot of other people are because I saw what he did during the Commanders game. I saw what he did during the Broncos game. I even feel like he's done good things in other games we lost. But the problem is, it's just we have to have consistency. We've never had consistent quarterback play. And I don't know. I just feel like the Vikings game was very winnable. And he looked bad when he was in there. And then he got hurt because he couldn't make decisions. Like he shouldn't have got hurt on that play if he would have thrown the ball away or something else. But he wasn't making good decisions. So I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to determine like what the right path is because I have no confidence that we'll get the right guy if we draft somebody in the first 5 picks. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
you got anything else?
I think Justin Fields just again needs some more time. He needs more weapons. He probably needs a better coaching staff around him.
Could be
And
true. I don't disagree.
okay, put Justin Fields on the Lions with their defense. Put Justin Fields on the okay. Put Justin Fields on the New Orleans Saints with that D. That's a top 4 defense statistically.
Yeah,
How's he doing?
probably
Are they
better.
in the running? Are they
Yeah,
doing okay in the NFC South? Are they? What would be your assessment then?
we'll find out. We play them next week. So
Great.
it really is interesting because let's say we can pull out this game, right? And then we play the Saints, and they're kind of struggling a little bit. And then we play the 0-6, 0-7 Carolina Panthers on prime time in Soldier Field. If we can win the next 2 games, we're 4-5 and we play that game. Who's to say we can't get to 5-5? And then Justin Fields comes back. Maybe comes back for the Panthers game. We'll see. So I don't know. I don't know, but I want to be optimistic because we'll still have a good pick, hopefully, as long as Carolina keeps losing. And then probably a top 10 to 15 pick anyway.
You sound like that guy from NBC when the playoffs come around. He's the guy with the khakis that does all like the percentages and like
Yeah,
the predictions as who's going to make the playoffs.
yeah.
Because we're not making the playoffs. I'm sorry. And we're not. If we are,
10
Scott,
games to
are we really going
go.
to go anywhere? Are we going to go anywhere other than just making an appearance?
Hey, sometimes, like, look at Philadelphia. They made an appearance one year. The next year, they're in the Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah.
But, and, like, I've watched some of their games. Jalen Hurts looks terrible against the Jets. Brock Purdy's looked pretty bad the last 2 weeks. So maybe I should give Fields a little credit because other quarterbacks don't always look great. Mahomes didn't look good against the Mahomes didn't look good against the Jets. So I guess those are good defenses. We played Minnesota and other
Yeah.
teams, but still. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of Turn Up Bear Down. Thanks for listening to us rant on the future of the Bears franchise. We'll see you next week.